this way. Okay guys, what's happening? Martin is back again. You know where we are, so let's get into it. So just touching base with you again in respect of this particular review of all the ZARA fragrances as of December 2019. We're going to be touching base again. I'm going to carry on where I've left off. So if you've not seen the first section of this video, by all means check it out. I've put in the details below in respect of the comment section or the description, and you can see the previous video there. So guys, I'm going to carry on now with these two fragrances, moving on, and this is more a case of would I buy it, would I not buy it. So I'm just going to keep this short and sweet, but ultimately let's touch base now. So I don't actually own a bottle of this particular one, Night Put On number 3, because I didn't particularly like it. It smells quite weak, and it just didn't really work with me. It smells like I mean, the bottle's a brown bottle, so it gives you to some extent a little bit of an idea as to what the fragrance could be like. Since it's got cardamom, iris and amber, I get a strong amber note from it, but I didn't really pick up on anything else. It does smell relatively weak, and it's not really one to write home about. I don't know anyone who's done a review on it, and I probably won't do a review on it either, so I'm going to leave that one there. It's just not one of my lists at all. Night Put On 2, as I say, this one has a lavender note in there with some details in respect of I say in details, in respect of the base notes. It seems to have some sort of musk or some sort of leather in there in the base. It's saying it according to ZARA's website, bergamot, lavender and amber. It's not bad, it's okay. Definitely one for the evening, I'd say. Easily get probably about 4 hours in this one. It is long lasting to some extent. It says it's an eau de parfum concentration. Doesn't really project very well off my skin too much, but because of the base notes, and it seems to be a focus on the base notes with this, because of the base notes, it seems to do quite well in respect of staying power. So it may not give you a big scent bubble as such, but it'll give you something to, you get your money's worth from it, I'd say. I mean, the cost of this one, this is 150ml bottle, so the bottle, which is the normal size 100ml, is obviously a lot cheaper, but they're saying it's $15.99. All I'd say, guys, just don't blind test these ones. I'd say definitely, sorry, don't blind buy these ones. Definitely go and check them out, I'd say, before you go and purchase. They're okay. It's just obviously depending on the season, this is definitely more of a winter season sort of scent, again with that lavender and the base notes in there with the amber. But this one here, it just doesn't really do anything for me, so I'm just not going to bother. Yeah, I mean, they are what they are. You have to decide on that one. In respect of these two, so you've got Rich, Warm and Addictive, and you've got the is it the Dark Exclusive. So Rich, Warm and Addictive has this type of coconut vibe going on, like this honey sort of syrup vibe going on with the coconut, which I actually do like, and I think it's quite pleasant. I think this one's probably how could I say, it's probably, if this was done by a more designer house, a well-known designer house, I think you'd get more appreciation, but it doesn't seem to as such. But I do think for when it came out, it is a good fragrance, and I would recommend that one, Rich, Warm and Addictive. Note breakdown on that one is the rum, white pinot and vanilla bourbon, is saying, which is interesting. And the other one is saying that it has, this is the Dark Exclusive one, saying that it has apple, black pepper and tonka bean. Now that other one for me, some people have said you get sort of Versace Eros type of vibe from it because of the apple note in there. To some extent, you still get definitely the tobacco note in there, which I think is a bit more predominant in this one compared to Versace Eros. Versace Eros seems quite light and sort of more of a, how could I say, it's more versatile, whereas this one it's not really for the younger type of crowd, I would say. If you're not into tobacco fragrances, this one might be a little bit too much. The apple note in there gives it this more of a, say, this sort of not fizzy note, but this type of more fruity vibe in the top notes, but not necessarily overly fruity. And then obviously with the base notes there, it's saying black pepper and tonka bean, but for me the base note that seems to be projecting mainly is that of the tobacco note. It doesn't really smell, in my opinion, as good as the other one, which is also tobacco based, but between the two, they're not a bad pickup. $17.99, I probably wouldn't pay that though. I'd just probably stick with one of them. So I'd advise you guys, if you want to go and check these ones out, by all means do so, but I would purchase the Rich, Warm and Addictive over this Dark and Exclusive one. And I believe this one has even been reformulated as well, so it may not necessarily get as long, unfortunately, on that one. This is the latest release that came out, guys. This is Tobacco Collection again, which is, no, it's not this one, excuse me, we've just done that one. The latest release is this one here. So these two are just basically the same, just a multi-pack. This one here, guys, which is Unexpected, Fresh and Spicy. I've done a review on this. I had a lady's opinion on that as well. Unfortunately for me, guys, I'm just not a fan of it. Some of you guys really enjoy it. Some of you guys have told me that, you know, this is giving you that renaissance of that reminiscence of not Angel Man, but Pure Havan, and he's taken along those lines by Terry Mugler, which is okay. I can pick up on that by all means. I don't think it's a bad fragrance, guys. I just don't think it works for me. I've got it here, and I think, to be honest, this is, I won't necessarily say it's like a niche within itself, but you really need to be in tobacco fragrances to get this one. The notes on this one saying it's got cinnamon, patchouli, and sandalwood. For me, I'm picking up nearly like a rum, like don't know if it's a whiskey note, but maybe like a rum vibe going on there, even like a cherry sort of vibe going on, which could be from the patchouli. The sandalwood is there, the sandalwood is there in the base, but again, guys, this is predominantly a tobacco-based fragrance, so don't confuse yourself. I think you do need to test it, and you need it to allow on skin. You need to allow it to have the time on skin before you commit to it, I would say. $12.99 though, you cannot go wrong really with it. I think it's one of those ones that will only work really for the winter months. It's not one that will really do you for the summer. I think it'd be too heavy for the summer, and I think you'd get borderline offensive. Some people are saying that this is the best release from ZARA for 2019. I can see where they're coming from, because you do get longevity, you do get projection. It's just that for me, I just don't like tobacco fragrances to that extent. This is nowhere near, how could I say, this is nowhere near as complex. It's nowhere near as creamy, say, as for example, Spice Bomb Extreme, for example, which I've done a review on as well. Spice Bomb Extreme is a different type of note breakdown. You're getting a different type of sillage and obviously better quality when it comes to that particular type of juice. This one here, I'm not going to say it smells cheap, but at the same time, there is a noticeable difference between the two, and the two shouldn't be compared. Equally with Pure Havana as well. That particular fragrance, guys, you need to, you're gonna get beast mode on that one. This one not so much, but at the same time, you're gonna get really your money's worth. So I would recommend this one. If you've not had a chance to smell it, by all means go and check it out. And I'll just 1 second, go and check it out. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so go and check it out by all means, guys. It's just one of those fragrances which I think until you get your nose on it, you either love it or hate it. For me, I think it's a good fragrance. I can appreciate the fragrance. I can acknowledge why people like it, but I just feel for me it's a little bit too heavy. And again, I'm not really into tobacco fragrances to that much. So this is slightly more along the heavier side of fragrances, the darker side of fragrances, which I think, you know, goes down well. Just depends on your mood and depends on what you want to do. So give that one a try. 11.0 smells nice. It smells citric. When I smelt it, it smelled fresh. It's a pleasant smell. Again, note breakdown. This one's saying it's got cypress, red pepper, and tonka bean. It smelled to me, and then obviously on there it's saying it's got apple, citrus zest, pink peppercorn, cedar, spices, geranium, vanilla, patchouli, musk, and amber. Fantastic fragrance. Just doesn't last long. It didn't last longer than about 10 minutes on my skin, so that's why I left that one there. I wasn't going to purchase it just for the sake of purchasing it, so I just left that one alone, unfortunately. 10.0, a few YouTubers have done a review on this one. I chose not to buy this one. This smelled slightly more aquatic to me. There is a Bulgari fragrance which it smells somewhat similar like, which I cannot remember the name of at this moment in time. Let's have a look. Is it Bulgari Aqua? Yeah, it's one of these aqua ones, marine aqua. Maybe smells slightly like that to some extent. But again, I'm just not a fan of this particular one. Bergamot, mandarin, watery accords, nutmeg, violet, green, jasmine, wood, dry amber, patchouli. Not bad fragrance, not bad fragrance at all. Just didn't particularly last long. Or if you're going to wear it, definitely make sure it's for the summer months. This is not one that's going to last through the winter months at all. So can't really give my 2 cents on that one. It's okay, just not enough for me to actually commit and purchase it, I would say. Next two here, you can see, guys, these are the staples. I think these are the ones that remind us of the good old days sort of fragrances from ZARA fragrances, for those that know. Have I got a bottle next to me here? I probably do somewhere. I'm not sure if I got a bottle of the 8.0. I think that's upstairs. Whoops. But 8.0, by all means, guys, you got to get your hands on that one if you've not done it already. Saying that it's got a note breakdown of this white mint, is it? On the notes, it tells you white mint, melon, violet, mergay, not sure, watery notes, musk, cedar wood, and amber. For me, guys, the melon note in this, the watery melon, it does it all day long. You get this sort of not necessarily gourmandish, but you get this sort of, how could I describe it, a fresh, all year round sort of fragrance. And again, it does last. I know it's probably been reformulated. I've not smelled it most recently because I'm not bothered with this particular line, but this one does last on skin from what I've got. This one, I'm not sure even what I could compare it to, but in my opinion, guys, this is one that you definitely have to get a sniff of. It's one of those ones which, again, I've worn in the office, worn it to parties, worn it on date nights, worn it just, you know, doing what I'm just doing in my day-to-day life, and I've got compliments on it when I've been wearing it. So 8.0, it's a multi-use one, can't go wrong with it. It's not offensive, it will last long, and again, it gives you this sort of melon vibe, this sort of watery melon vibe, which I think is one of the best fragrances I think Zara released, to be honest. In the whole line of Zara fragrances, is one of the best ones. 9.0, for those that know, it smells along the lines of a Dior Homme, slightly on the lines of Valentino Uomo to some extent. So you got bergamot, juniper, coriander, pepper, cardamom, orris, vetiver, amber, and cedarwood. This one does last on skin, guys. If you're looking for a cheaper when it comes to, say, to Dior Homme, it's not quite fully on that lipstick vibe, but you do get a bit of an essence from that. And equally, as I say, slightly along the lines of Valentino Uomo, not necessarily the almond note necessarily, but you do get this type of vibe from it, from the two. So Dior Homme, Valentino Uomo mixed together, had an illegitimate cousin, son. That makes sense, and this is what you find. 9.0, not a bad fragrance, guys. I would give that one a try as well. So by all means, go and check that one out. Again, not bad for the price either, I think, for two of those ones. This cashmere, I'm not going to get into any details on it, guys. I've done my reviews on it before, and again, I get this musk vibe from it, but it doesn't seem to really have anything in respect of the breakdown. So it's got bergamot, cashmere, and a tonka bean. It may do, it doesn't project. I think these are layering fragrances, I've mentioned before. I don't know if they put some ISO in there or something like that when it comes to these molecules, whatever it may be, to heighten pheromones and everything else like that. But unfortunately for me, guys, it's just not worth the money all the time. I would prefer to save my money and buy something that I actually want to buy, rather than buy this one as a layering fragrance. But some people have done reviews on it, guys. I can't knock them if they've done so. Go and check those ones out, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Next ones, guys, these two are, well, $22.99 for dual pack, probably the better option. I think these are 100 mils each. Right, so just looking at these now, this one here I do actually enjoy. This seems to be like a staple again of Zara fragrances. I get this type of masculine sort of vibe from it. Trying to think what I could compare it to, top of my head. And I've got a bottle upstairs, well, I'm with me now, unfortunately, but it's saying that it has, between the two of them, you can see what they've got in there. Let me go this way, actually. This one is saying it's got bergamot, cardamom, and sandalwood. This is a nice fragrance, guys. It's not quite there in respect of Dolce & Gabbana The One, but it's along that line. If you imagine, again, something which is giving you like an idea, like a somewhat remnants of, it's not exactly the same thing, but at the same time, for the cost, the price, $17.99. It's one of Zara's, I think, slightly more longer lasting fragrances that they've had out for some time. I've had compliments wearing this one. I get this vibe of borderline Jean-Paul Gaultier Ultramal without the heavy sort of fruit punch vibe that you get from that one. But at the same time, I also get a slight sort of Dolce & Gabbana The One sort of vibe coming from it as well. So it's a mixture between the two, if you can imagine that. I would say by all means, get your nose on it. I do think it's a good fragrance. I can't knock it necessarily. Unfortunately, it doesn't really project as well as I'd like it to, but it still gives me a good 3 hours or so, which is not bad for the cost of what it is. I just think it's one of those fragrances that has so much more potential, but obviously costing wise, Zara do what they do, and I don't think the aim is to make it all one purposeful fragrance. For him sport, again, if you imagine along the lines of, say for instance, Dolce & Gabbana Grey, it's like it's lacking that element that makes it what it is. This has got grapefruit, ginger and sandalwood, saying it's a sport version. And I notice a lot of these sport fragrances seem to have this grapefruit in it because they want it to smell slightly more fresher. For me, guys, this fragrance was weak. Didn't really have anything by way of, how can I say, longevity. The opening, again, with both of them, slightly alcoholic, unfortunately. Dry down on this one just gave me, as I say, this type of grapefruit vibe, which wasn't really doing much, wasn't lasting long. I'm a big fan of grapefruit fragrances, but this one doesn't really do much for me, unfortunately. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a so-so fragrance. It'll die away in the sands of time. But this one I think is probably one I'd give a shout out to. So go and check that one out. For him, black edition. Didn't really get much from this one, guys. And it says it's got nutmeg, orange blossom, and cedar. For me, it does seem to have this type of leathery note in there, which again, it's not really one that said anything to me. There's a black edition that was released previously, which I think is quite nice. And then the bottles were different. It's not a bad fragrance. It just doesn't. I purchased one a while ago which have a slightly different type of bottle, and I don't know if they've changed it slightly, to be honest, guys. I'll have to do a review on that one, because it seems to be like the orange blossom, the nutmeg in there. Again, I'm not know if this is like a leather or musk in the base. I'm not too sure, but it's a pleasant fragrance. The costing, I think, is a little bit more than what I would want to spend for it. The older bottles, the older versions that they had out didn't cost as much as this one. This is only 100 ml as well. So it's okay, guys. It's pleasant. It's nice. I have worn it before. It's slightly more, again, for the spring, I would say. I don't know, again, in the base notes. It's saying cedar, so I don't know if it's got a leather note in there or some musk element in there, which I pick up on sometimes. But you do get this orange blossom, which is quite nice and somewhat fresh to some extent. The nutmeg in there gives it slightly along the lines of not gourmandish, but slightly going that way. It's pleasant. It's okay. Go and check it out. It's not a bad fragrance, actually. Go and check it out. Might have been a bit too harsh on that one. So check it out. I think the only thing that lets you down, in my opinion, guys, is the price point. But longevity wise, I think you get some good longevity, 4 hours or so, give or take, because of the freshness from that orange blossom. Already touched on these two before, so I'm not going to do that again. Blue Man Spirit, all day long, guys. I'd recommend this one. This is one of my most favorite ones from Zara. It is a inspired version of Paco Rabanne Invictus, but again, with this nutmeg going on in there, it gives it, I've had a lot of compliments from it, guys. 30 ml is what it is, not a bad one. Silverman Spirit, as I say, is 30 ml. We touched on that before. Smells like Gucci Guilty in that silver bottle. Man almost smells like 1 million. I don't even know if this is still available anymore. I've not seen this for a long time. 100 ml, guys, can't go wrong with it. You know, $9.99, nothing wrong with that at all. Good longevity, good projection. It is the 1 million vibe. Nothing much to say on it than that. $9.99, you can't go wrong. But again, unfortunately, with these fragrances, you get this type of alcoholic note in the opening, which seems to let it down a little bit. But I mean, hey, $9.99, what is that? I've done a review on this one recently as well, so I'm not going to touch on that. You can look at the previous videos on that one. Mansell, yeah, we touched on that one, touched on this one as well, previous video. So again, it's the same thing as it was before. It's just in a different bottle. Notes: hazelnut, pepper, and amber. Smelling this one, guys, I didn't pick up on any difference from what is in the previous versions. And as the bottle goes, I think it's probably a better spray than the other ones. I think if you can look, I'll give an example now. This one is not released anymore. This one is Blue Man Spirit Summer. I'm just going to spray this one so you can see, if you can see. I don't know if you can see, but let me go higher. Yeah, nice. So very good fragrance as well. Unfortunately, this isn't out. This will come out again, but if you can get your hands on this one, Blue Man Spirit Summer version, this one can do some damage, guys. Really do some damage out there. In field. For those that are in field, a lot of these guys, one thing I'm going to say again, guys, was doing these YouTube reviews and looking at it, and I saw a video recently, I'm not going to mention who it was, obviously a very predominant YouTuber and everything else, and it was a bit of a rundown as to their thoughts on who were the best of the YouTubers. That's all personal. It depends where you're looking. That depends where you're looking. There's people on the radars, guys. There's people on the maps that are getting no shout outs at all, and I was surprised that a few people didn't get any shout outs as well. But at the same time, that's how it goes. Everyone's down to personal preference. But all I'm going to say, guys, about my videos, some of you guys will like the videos and you see where I'm coming from. Some of you guys won't like the videos and you're going to have your own perspective, which is entirely up to yourselves. I've been doing this now probably for about, as I say, roughly about 6 months, slightly more intensively. And what I'm learning a lot more, guys, is that everyone's sense of smell is different. There's no one fragrance to sort of rule them all, so to speak. So if I give my opinion on something, it's from someone, again, who's spent their own money and made their own time to go and try out the fragrance, not someone who's had the fragrance sent to them. I'm not at that particular stage. And equally, I'm, in my opinion, giving you more of this, how could I say, average Joe sort of perspective on it, because I don't want to go and spend some money, rely on somebody telling me on YouTube, oh yeah, that's a good fragrance, go there and be disappointed with it. So if I say something's the best one, in my opinion, that's the best one. There's a reason why, because I'm operating within a sphere, having a certain budget and able to do certain things. I'm not going to go and buy Millesime Imperial, I'm going to buy Creed's Virgin Island Water just for the sake of doing a video, not have the money to do it, can't pay my light bill, and then subsequently saying this is the best one and this isn't the best one. I'm not the person for that, guys, unfortunately. So let's get into it in respect of these next ones. That's the rant over. I've touched on these two. I've touched on these are older bottles anyway, so touched on those ones. Yeah, so let's get into it in these ones. So the denim jacket, I've done a review on this one as well. Somebody asked the other day about, is there anything that's similar to Dior Sauvage? Again, this is the sprayer on there. I think this is the closest you're going to get in the house of Zara, unfortunately, from my perspective. The reason why I'm saying that, it's got this sort of geranium vibe going on in the top notes, but then the base notes seem to come with this type of ambroxan, slightly saltier sort of note. So looking at this, there you go again. So geranium, sage, and tonka bean. Saying it's fresh and captivating. It's not particularly great, I don't think. And again, for the cost of it, $15.99 is too much. I personally wouldn't buy this again, and I'd probably sell this on eBay as well. These are all going on eBay, a lot of these fragrances now. But yeah, it's okay. As I say, the opening is when you get this geranium note, it's slightly more green sort of vibe coming on, and then it seems to come this breakdown with this ambroxan note, which takes it slightly along the lines of Dior Sauvage in the breakdown. Maybe some tonka bean as well, keeps it slightly sweeter, but it's nothing particularly spectacular. In all honesty, I would actually say to you in this sort of scenario, just go and buy the EDT from Dior Sauvage, just going by the EDT on that one. And the problem with that fragrance, I think everybody's got it. That's the issue with it. Everybody's got it, so I wouldn't really go out my way to buy that one. Now, I think my bottle's nearly ran out, but this one is just so-so. The hoodie, the weekend hoodie, this again gives it away by the color of the juice. This one smells like a previous version of what Zara released of Paco Rabanne Invictus. And again, grapefruit, patchouli, and amber. It's not really long lasting. It doesn't project like Invictus projects. I would again recommend, guys, if you're really desperate, go and smell it, go and get your eyes, get your thoughts on it. But I think at the end of the day, guys, this one is just one that's just, it's just so-so. It's just so-so. Zara released some fragrances back in the day before this was taken off that will seem similar to this one, and I think it's really just the same fragrance, just in a new it's just in a new bottle. Why is this not letting me move back? Let's have a look. Okay, we're gonna have to go around gonna go the long way, guys. Bear with me on this one. Let's go the long way. Right, okay, so let's touch base now with the Perfect Smoking. Perfect Smoking, black pepper, incense, and sandalwood. Some people saying they get some nice vibes from it. I couldn't necessarily tell you what it smelled like to me. I didn't pick up on anything particularly. It was just so weak. It was just so lackluster. There was nothing to go for it. I couldn't even, it got to a point I was literally like this, trying to smell it after spraying it. So I don't know what the purpose of this fragrance was. I don't know if it was to be non-offensive. I don't know if it's just something as a stocking filler or what may it have been. But unfortunately for me, it just didn't do anything whatsoever. So I decided to leave that one alone. I can't even give my thoughts on it because I don't know. I've smelt it and I couldn't even smell it, to the point I just left it at that and walked away. That's how disappointed I was, unfortunately. These seem to be a repeat of it. We've already touched on those ones. Lisboa, again, repeating. Vibrant Leather, I mean, I touched on that already, guys. Give it a sniff. It's not a bad fragrance. It just doesn't really last as long as it once used to. We've touched on this one already. And that seems to be the end of it, interestingly enough. Zara seemed to rejig the website a little bit, so that seems to be the end of it for part 2. We've already touched on these ones already. So while we're here, don't know what the time is now, but while we're here, let's go and look at the sales. Let's go and look at the sales and see what is worth getting in the sales for fragrances from Zara. Let's see what they have for us, guys. Go to accessories. Yeah, also Zara Spiral Collection. There have been some fragrances from there, but unfortunately, they've never actually put any in the stores for me to smell them. So I just decided that I'm just not going to bother. Right, okay, so no night, no day. I've touched on these, waste of time. If you want to go and smell them, go and smell them. Not a problem. A Day in Mexico, touched on that as well. It's pleasant. It's got this type of rhubarb vibe going on, as mentioned. So by all means, go and check that one out. Greenery, not a fan of it at all. Smells like, I say, if you can imagine something that smelled like something which is green, if that's how I could describe it, that's the only way I could describe it. Unfortunately, it's just not one for me. Grey is the perfect neutral. I think I got a sort of vibe again of that Lisboa sort of smell, which is Acqua di Gio. So it's so nothing spectacular. Here, this is very interesting. These have not been on sale for longer than probably even about 3 months. And look at that again, straight away from $9.99 to $6.99, 30% off. Can't pronounce the name of that one or the coordinates, and I don't want to. Yeah, those fragrances just did nothing at all for me. They didn't last long, and they literally just left me in a situation of thinking, what is the point of releasing these type of fragrances? So all of them seem to be there. So I don't know, guys, if you want to go and spend your £7 and try them out, the only one I would recommend to try out, the one I actually enjoyed, was this one in the orange bottle, or with the orange writing. It's saying it's got cardamom, pink pepper, and cedar. But again, it didn't last long. It didn't seem to do anything for me in respect of projection. There was no scent bubble, there was no trail, and again, sillage was literally non-existent, because within 5 seconds, 5 minutes, you know, they dissipated and gone down to a skin scent. So that is really it, guys. Not really much more I can say on that. So guys, I do hope you've enjoyed this video and enjoyed me just running through these points. Again, I'm trying my best to give you an idea from someone who honestly has smelt these fragrances and who's not been necessarily sent them. So if this will save you some time and some money, do not forget to give the comments, or do not forget to leave your comment actually, but also do not forget to give the channel a like and thumbs up, or the video a like and a thumbs up. And by all means, guys, let me know down in the comment section, have you tried out any of these fragrances? Is there any of these fragrances from ZARA that I've not touched on that you'd recommend? What about the back in the day fragrances that aren't released anymore? Is that something that we need to go and check out as well? So let me know, guys. I'll hopefully see you soon on the next video. We have some more stuff coming out. Again, guys, I'm going to keep saying as well, I'm going to do some reviews of other stuff, not just fragrances, because there's so much stuff going on out there. But by all means, guys, let me know, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Ciao.